Have you ever noticed how death doesn't just unite people? It also exposes how different cultures handle the final goodbye? A Nigerian woman recently shared a video online about the culture shock she experienced comparing burials in Nigeria to South Africa, and honestly, she raised some very interesting points. Now let me take you through her perspective, because this is one of those topics that really makes you think about how traditions shape our lives, and even our deaths. So here's the hook. In South Africa, burials are fast. Within a week or two, the funeral is done, the person is laid to rest, and the family begins the healing process. But in Nigeria, especially among the Igbo people, things take a very different turn. Burials can take up to 3 months, sometimes even longer, before the deceased is finally laid to rest. And it's not because Nigerians don't care. In fact, it's the exact opposite. According to the woman in the video, in Igbo culture, a burial is not just about putting someone in the ground. It's a massive cultural event, a final honor to celebrate the person's life in a grand way. The timing depends on many things. For instance, the age of the person who passed away, their social status, or their role in the community. If the person was older, had children, or was highly respected, the family usually takes time to prepare a huge ceremony. But if the person was younger, or their father is still alive, the burial might happen much faster. In those cases, the death is seen as very painful or unfortunate, and tradition dictates that it should be handled quickly. Now let's unpack the real reasons why Nigerians, especially the Igbo, keep their dead for so long. First, logistics. Families need time to gather everyone together. In Nigeria, relatives are often scattered across the country or even living abroad, so they can't always rush home within a few days. Postponing the burial ensures that everyone who matters can attend. Second, traditional rites. Burials in Igbo culture come with a long list of cultural obligations. It's not just about the immediate family, but also extended relatives, the maternal side, and even age grade associations. If you're not familiar, age grades are groups of people born within a certain time frame, and they play a huge role in community events. These traditional rites take time to organize and perform properly before the burial can happen. Third, money. Let's be honest, burials in Nigeria are expensive. Families often provide food, drinks, uniforms called aso-ebi, and even souvenirs for guests. If the deceased was well respected, the family might feel pressure to host a large, memorable event. And as you can imagine, raising that kind of money doesn't happen overnight. And finally, community involvement. Nigerian burials are not private affairs. They're huge community gatherings where everyone comes together to honor the deceased. The delay gives time to mobilize people, prepare the village, and ensure that everyone can play their part in giving the departed a proper farewell. Now this is where the culture shock really comes in. Imagine you're a South African woman married to a Nigerian man. The first time you hear that your husband's uncle passed away, you expect the burial to happen in a week, but 2 months later, you're still waiting, and the body is still in the mortuary. You'd probably be thinking, what on earth is going on? That's exactly the type of experience the woman was describing, and she invited people to share how they navigated those cultural differences. Her post wasn't just about comparing timelines. It was really about showing how traditions reflect the values of a society. In South Africa, the quick burial might be about closure, healing, and moving on. In Nigeria, the delay is about respect, honor, and giving the person the send-off they deserve. Neither is right or wrong, just different. And honestly, this conversation matters because it highlights how culture shapes the way we deal with one of the most universal human experiences, death. For Nigerians, a burial is the last opportunity to show love and respect. And for South Africans, it's about ensuring the family can begin the journey of healing without delay. Both approaches tell us something powerful about community, family, and tradition. So let me throw the same question back to you. If you're South African and you've married into a Nigerian family, how did you react the first time you saw this kind of burial arrangement? Did it confuse you, surprise you, or maybe even inspire you? And if you're Nigerian, what do you think about the faster burials in South Africa? Do you feel like something is missing, or do you see the benefit in moving quickly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. because this is one of those topics where personal experiences really teach us more than just history or tradition ever could. After all, it's these cultural conversations that make us understand one another better.
Have you ever noticed how different our burial traditions are between, Nigeria and South Africa? From my experience here in South Africa, I saw that burials happen so fast, like mostly within a week or 2 weeks. They are done with the whole thing. They have put the disease to rest. But in Nigeria, especially among the Igbo culture, among the Igbo tribe where I'm from, it can take up to 3 months or even longer, Now, the question is, do you ever wonder why it's like that, In this video, I'll be unpacking some of the reasons why, our Igbo tribe or Nigerians keep their dead for a long time. So if that sounds like something you've been interested in, make sure you watch this video till the end while I enjoy my food. Now, here's the thing. In Igbo culture, burials are not just about, laying someone to rest. They are a kind of grand cultural event and a final honor to the person who lived. Now, the length of the time we keep the dead often depends on the person's age, maybe the social status of the person. If the person is a kind of old and had a large family, a kind of had a good social standing, the burial might be delayed, mainly because they need time for proper planning, because they are going to have a big ceremony and to celebrate their life in a grand style, But if this person is young, or maybe without children, or maybe the father is still alive, if your father is still alive and the person died, this kind of burial is usually, done so quickly because it is seen as a painful death or an unfortunate death. Here is the question: why do we keep our dead for so long? I know if you are a South African woman who is married to a Nigerian man, you might be wondering this, or maybe you are a Nigerian, as they will always call themselves. You might be wondering, why is it that your uncle you heard is dead? They have not buried him yet. Now, here are some of the reasons. One is that they need time to plan and gather the family members. Yes, because many relatives might be living abroad or maybe far away in different cities. Now, so I think maybe they will need time, not until everyone comes home before they will do the burial. Now, another reason on my list could be that the traditional rites. Remember, we must perform some cultural obligations to the dead, or maybe to the extended family members, and to the maternal side, maybe to the age grade, because there is this thing we call age grade. People who are born within the age brackets, they have a kind of group. So they need other traditional rites. You need to perform a lot of traditional rites before this person could be buried, especially if this person is so aged, Now, another reason on my list is money, financial issue. Yes, because burials in Nigeria cost a lot. It costs a lot. So, especially when they are going to be doing things like souvenir, uniforms for Ashebi. And maybe they want to do it in they want to have a very large ceremony. So all this involve a lot of money. So you need time to gather this money before you commence the burial. And lastly on my list today is maybe a kind of community involvement, because this required you to bring all the extended family together to the village, you know, for them to participate and have their last honor to the dead. I think these are my reasons so far. If there is anyone I don't remember, please, you are from Nigeria, please put them down in the comment section. People are there to learn. So to you, my South African sisters who are married to Nigerian men, what is your experience like? The first time you saw this kind of burial arrangements, you know, maybe it's from your, is maybe your husband was late, or maybe your husband's brother, a brother-in-law, or maybe an uncle to your husband. The first time you saw this kind of arrangements, what is your experience like? I would like to hear it down in the comment section. Yes, because, you know, traditions like this are deeply rooted in who we are as people. But I would love to hear from you. How did you navigate around the cultural differences? You know, share your experience in the comment section. You never can know who is reading or who might learn from your experience. I'm sure your story will help someone else who is facing the same situation like you. So guys, we have come to the end of today's video. Let me finish my food. I still have my food. Let me finish my food. For now, bye. See you guys on my next video.